I've long since accepted way before I spontaneously decided to create a platform on the internet, the territory of having a voice that refuses to be silenced in any way. So no matter what I talk about, no matter what I do and say, it was never personal with me. Of course, that's me speaking only for myself. I can't say the same for the reception I get, of course, which leads me to today and this tale of my recent Twitter adventures. Yes, ladies and gents, we're talking about Twitter of all things, so you know it's going to be nothing more than a fucking laughingstock and all of the amenities you should expect from a platform like Twitter. Alright, this Nintendude has it in for me. Tucked away behind his keyboard, sock puppet accounts, mass reporting, false flagging, harassing, stalking, and spamming one guy because ultimately I did and said something that he didn't like, and he's just quite frankly too extremely mentally fucked to do anything other than take it personally. So let's see what Nintendude here cooked up for little old me. Now you all are aware of what happened to my previous Twitter account. Well, let's have some fun as I get you up to even more speed.
Apparently Savage has recently made an alt account on Twitter.
Oh, the irony.
To evade a suspension from his last account.
That he can't even spell correctly.
Or something like that.
Wait, do you even know? And he's encouraging no one to report me to Twitter support, who by the way has a brilliant track record when it comes to them actually fixing anything about Twitter. Yeah, lots of suspended accounts, and what does Twitter support have to say about any of that? They are here to help. Well, they can start by actually responding and doing anything about mass report brigades from demented basement dwelling vegetables like Nintendude here, but we won't steal the thunder of his delusions of grandeur among other things just yet. Now, it's one thing to promote mass reporting and false flagging while you classically play the victim. So let's see, out of all of this, you've done nothing wrong. God damn, why does that sound and smell so familiar? Telling people to fuck off and you're just 100% a victim. Who the fuck are you? Where did you even come from? Let's start all the way from the beginning. Here it goes right here. Remember, kiddo, you're the one that drew first blood when you came to me with this bitchy simp noise crying about, you guessed it, Publicify. More on that later. Imagine running to the internet crying this summer childish and woke flake line.
I'm sick of this.
Live on and pop your cherry already, Junior. It gets much worse. So we already see your narcissism and your mentality to censor people because you're sick of this. Jacking off to mommy's keyboard, crying about what you're sick of on the internet like anyone gives a fuck about a little twat that never mattered because they're struggling to comprehend the concept of the internet. Just because you see and hear something that you don't like doesn't mean that anyone should give a fuck. You're too much of a fool and you're too narcissistic to accept the world doesn't revolve around you. And it's amazing, isn't it, Jeffrey? He doesn't know shit about me, but as this video will show, he has traveled a long road to keep up with little old me. And here it is, guys. The classic vagina that pussies like Nintendude slither up into once they don't get what they want and they prove to be the aggressor over the internet and in a world that, again, doesn't revolve around them. Notice how he continues to engage in and be consumed by the very thing he clearly can't stand that isn't healthy to him in any way, because that's what false victims love to do. They love to sit up here and act like they're victims. Why are you engaging with a random spoiled brat, telling people to fuck off like you're not part of the problem, and just quite frankly wasting so much energy on that one person that clearly shouldn't be worth your time? But then again, if you had a life like Nintendude here, can you really call it a waste? But here's the part that makes me extend my fangs, because Nintendude, son, it's one thing for you to pull this pussy-made internet troll shit of mass reporting and false flagging as you stalk, harass, and spam me over numerous sock puppet accounts like the little bitch that you are. But when you threaten me, I'm gonna show you just how much damning evidence you have contributed to your own stupid ass self, so we can do a lot better than your little bitch ass hiding behind sock puppet accounts just pressing the report button every chance you get. Tell me, son, what is the going rate on phone numbers and email addresses that your bitch ass has to run through just to achieve this? So he's threatening my YouTube and Twitter platforms, ladies and gents, to work so hard to gain so little, if anything at all. And you're replying to a video Jeffrey made over 2 years ago, and look at that little furry thing there. Again, his interest in Publicify and all of the mean old things I've said about him over the years really has inspired him to come knocking at my door. Wait until I put my bathrobe on, sweetie. Talking about alts, as this guy admits that he is the one behind the mass reporting and false flagging to my Twitter and YouTube accounts. Congratulations, Nintendo. Take a shit on that evidence as you prove who's truly the aggressor here, out for blood. So what do we have so far? This guy taking mentions of Publicify that I've made in the past, and any for that matter, very personally. He has it in for me because I do and say what he doesn't want to hear on the internet. Welcome to the internet, Virgin Jr. And let's run through those tweets. I mean, he has already proven to be a classic Twitter retard that just sits up there smashing the keys on his mummy's keyboard to pieces as he runs to the internet to get angry at something else. Imagine running back to the toxicity you claim is a problem just to engage in and be consumed by it more and more, and then pretend that it's everyone else's fault. Again, who does that sound like? Alright, let's note the familiarity along with the Publicify teabagging tweets, and let's see who's really behind this, or at least the pussy we shouldn't put this past. Alright, mentions about Smogon using something poorly. Uh-oh, here is just one of many Publicify videos this individual is promoting. Who would go out of their way to be angry at me for all of the mean old things I've said about Publicify, any mentions about Publicify, and just be hyper aggressive about Publicify while throwing out cock-sucking promotions of this loser's dead channel? Alright, let's look at this tweet. You are an idiot. Yep, that's Publicify, alright. And here he is again, guys.
Anyone can make mistakes like my daddy did. Just because he's wrong doesn't mean he cannot be correct another time.
Who would go out of their way to defend anything Publicify does? We know how his simps work. We get that, but imagine that individual that goes out of their way to respond to every mention of said person just to adamantly, no, vehemently defend them. Here's yet another mention he's sucking Publicify in. Here's another, here's another, here's another. And we're talking about Publicify's account that's still suspended. Yeah, this one right here. And guess who dropped in to say hi?
He got suspended because of a troll.
That's funny. Publicify said the same thing a while back when he got his Twitter suspended, made a video about it, claimed he would get it back, didn't get it back, and I can only imagine him still living under these delusions of grandeur. Here's another Publicify video promoted, and to no one's benefit, most of all Publicify's. And to reiterate why his Twitter was suspended, Nintendo chimes in once again. This is nothing special, but I can imagine, considering that Publicify is obviously a Trump supporter, that something like this shouldn't be surprising to anyone coming from Nintendo here, who has proven time and again to have a lot of mannerisms just like Publicify. And the best this doppelganger can do to explain his sentiment towards someone like Publicify is to give him the benefit of the doubt. I get how spineless simps work, but no one goes to these links other than the individual in question. So to recap, he tosses his salad by promoting Publicify's dead channel and videos. He chimes in on every single Publicify mention to brainlessly and blindly defend him every chance he gets for self-esteem shots, mentions a lot of rhetoric and propaganda similar to Publicify just to make his edging blowjob for him that much more orgasmic. And at the center of it all is little old me for all of the mean old things I've said about Publicify. On top of evidence of him admitting to mass reporting, false flagging, ban evading with numerous sock puppet accounts, stalking, harassing, and spamming me, you gotta love his brilliant use of hashtags. Let's see, Randy Savage. Wait, hold up. What does any of this have to do with me? This dumbass vegetable is so demented that he doesn't even know how to use hashtags properly. And look at his pen to tweet. Have some care, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithful, gentleness, self-control, honesty, and responsibility with yourself, everything, and everyone. Hey, you demented fruitcake, you missed your entire Twitter feed. Oh, Nintendo, what happened to your boyfriend? Because that totally isn't you, just like you're totally not Publicify. You remember who I'm talking about, right? His name is Ryan. Oh, there he is, right there. Ha! You hear that? It sounds like I got the last laugh. Ha ha! And look at this guy. He can't get off my savage schlong either. Here's Emporio, and that's it out of 8 tweets. I'm literally represented. Hashtag rent free, by the way, out of 4 of those 8 tweets. What has Emporio been up to, Nintendo? All of this familiarity, all of these mannerisms of one individual you're doing all of this for. I wonder what I'll get if I put all of this together. Also, who the fuck is Carl Richards? Wait, I got it. There's Carl Richards. There's another sock puppet account you deranged fucks create the same day you come to once again stalk, harass, and spam me with your insanity. insanity. Look at this tale of severe mental retardation. Running through numerous phone numbers and email addresses just to create an account to harass someone with the same day. You just can't wait. You're failing to bring me down over the internet on you mentally fucked pussies hiding behind sock puppet accounts are so terrified of me. You're scared of one guy who says and does things you don't like on the internet, and your best weapon is mass reporting and false flagging, and you left a trail of evidence that points to all of that. You are a classic and deeply disturbed internet troll. It's going to take more than phone numbers, email addresses, false flagging, mass reporting, everything you'd expect from a lifeless cunt in their mother's basement to shut me up over the internet, son. Shrink yourself for 1 second. Who wastes all of this time? Oh, wait, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Your lives are too pathetic. You can't move on. Even if you were to successfully bring me down to silence, censor, and counsel me, if you actually did the ultimate amount of damage you could ever do to keep me down, your pathetic lives, because they are that meaningless, you are that worthless to yourselves, would still suffer the agony of unrest because you can't live without me and you can't fucking live with me. Sad little demented bitches. Oh wait, you thought that was over? Here's some more examples. What? You guys didn't think I kept an archive, did you? You have stalking, harassing, spamming, false flagging, and mass reporting. This, ladies and gents, is all of the cheap thrills I've been laughing at for months now. This same retard comes in after they've wasted another phone number and email address to regurgitate the same garbage rhetoric that I guess they think is supposed to annoy me in any way. Children, I play off of emotions. I play off of your pain. I know your lives are pathetic. I know you're little bitches that can only do shit like this. You're the ones that are clearly disturbed, damaged goods, broken. Why should I join your pity party? And last but not least, Nintendo, if you want to talk about reporting someone to Twitter support or to the big bad mods that are just as much of a shit for brains waste of space that you are, make sure you send them this evidence, or better yet, I'll deliver it to them as well. You want to talk about IP bans? You want to talk about making things personal? I have your entire rap sheet right here, kiddo. Again, you admit to being the aggressor, false flagging, mass reporting, and your little punk ass boyfriend who's unavailable for comment. Yeah, this guy right here just so happens to be incriminated as well. But look what happened to him. Guess who's going to always get the last laugh? You got a PokeTuber troll suspended. I love all of these arbitrary and senseless titles you pull out of your ass about me. Please don't let me steal your creative thunder. So there it is, as clear as day, you admitting to mass reporting with your buddy just to get someone falsely suspended on Twitter of all places. No wonder it actually worked. But it's just like you said, Nintendo, this is the dictionary definition of harassment. If you only knew the concept of self-awareness. And once again, you changed the bio that features yours truly, because again, that savage schlong is too strong for you to ignore, not engage in, and be consumed by, because your life is that pathetic. So your entire Twitter feed is duly noted. Your mannerisms, your rhetoric, your deranged state, your need to brainlessly defend, publicify against anything I dare say about him, and any mentions of him in a negative light, of course, are all duly noted, along with your false flagging, mass reporting, and tendencies to stalk, harass, and spam me. Not to mention a damn near galaxy's worth of sock puppet accounts that you and your friends have further incriminated yourselves with. Can't forget this one either. I'm ready when you are, bitch. Which of us do you truly think has the most to lose when it comes to ending up like your boyfriend here? I didn't fucking think so. Oh yeah, let's not forget about these little freebies as well that I'll kindly throw in for good measure. Sock puppet account prostitution. How much of this incrimination do you want to take to the bank, Nintendo? Never forget this. I am the thing that keeps you up at night. The evil that haunts every dark corner of your mind. I will never rest, and neither will you. When you come at the king, you better not miss.